Tom.
Okay, 4 seconds.
And welcome back, everyone. You're listening to the Business Spotlights on Wadsworth on 97.1 Wadsworth Community Radio. I'm Joe McNeil from Westfield Bank, along with my beautifully fantastic co-host.
Janie Parrish from the Wadsworth Area Chamber of Commerce.
That's right. You see, Tom did it again. So the song that he comes out of into the show, Motorcycle Mama. Does that fit? Does that fit you? I think it does. You got those shiny shoes on. You got those red glasses.
You know what? I've only been on a motorcycle one time.
Well, it qualifies.
Yeah, okay.
So who do we have next?
Oh my gosh, we got the fabulous. Talk about fabulous.
He is fabulous.
We got the fabulous Kevin Denee. How'd I do on that?
You botched it.
You botched it a little. Denee.
Denee.
It used to be Denee back in Europe, so you're close enough.
Okay. And look, I even phonetically wrote it down.
Yeah.
From Eyedeal Graphics.
Yes.
Yeah, so we are just so excited to have Kevin. I met Kevin a couple years ago, and became a good friend. And I know he's got 3 fabulous boys, too.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll stop.
Yeah, why don't we let Kevin tell us a little bit about himself?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
It would require you to stop talking. But...
Tell us a little bit about Eyedeal Graphics, Kevin.
Okay, well, nice to see you both, and happy to be here. Eyedeal Graphics is a small town company here in Wadsworth, and we're just here on Main Street. And we've been here for about 17 years, and so it's been around for quite some time. And Eyedeal Graphics is, as the name implies, anything to do with graphics, any visual branding that companies need, we are involved in, whether it's signage, logos, websites, vehicle graphics, and with websites, we also are starting to offer more kind of a full service experience when it comes to helping them understand analytics and what can we do with social media and what can we do with your search engine optimization. So it's kind of an opportunity in that particular area to even offer more. So we do all of that, and it really is a wonderful opportunity to help local businesses, because that's what we focus on, small and mid-sized businesses in the area. And we find in many cases there is an opportunity to serve and help in that area to, in some regards, they don't have time to focus on those things. So that's exactly what we do, and it's a joy to do so.
And one thing that I have come to realize is with being the Chamber's a small office, we have me and Carol that works 20 hours. Our time is so tied up with just the everyday things that it is, for some reason, that website that's so very important is the last thing on the list.
Absolutely.
For some reason. And then when you do get a chance to sit down, the phone's ringing, and, then you go on to that, and then the next thing you know, 2 days later, oh yeah, I got to go back to that.
Right.
It's one of the things that we talk about a lot of times in, whether it be chamber groups or meetings just in general, that's probably the one piece when companies think that they need to cut back. They cut back on the marketing side.
Yes.
And that's the most important piece to keep in play. Just like if you're starting a new business or revamping, to go to an expert like Eyedeal Graphics makes a lot of sense to start off the right way. They can do it much better than somebody could design their own.
Right.
Absolutely. And we find that all the time, going back to what you said, Janie, that oftentimes businesses don't have the time to go to it. And by the time they speak to us, it's interesting to hear them. They haven't been on their website for a year or 2 or 3, and so they're trying to explain some of the areas of their website. And that's obviously a sign that they don't have the time to do it. But it's very important. We're increasingly in a mobile world. Everybody's on their phone. Everybody's Googling things, checking up on things. There are a lot of statistics out there in relation to people searching locally and learning about businesses, and then they go and buy locally. So that's why it's so very important to make sure your presence is accurate, like a simple thing like the website being mobile friendly. That's common now, but a couple years ago it wasn't, and still a lot of small businesses still need some help in that regard, because again, a lot of people are on their phones, and you can even think of yourself in the evening, how often are you pulling out the big old laptop, or are you just thumbing through your phone for a little bit? So there's a lot of opportunity to help in that regard with a lot of businesses.
Yeah, I think people don't realize that it pays to have a mobile version of the site. Because even if you're sitting at home on your iPad, most of the time iPads are going to trigger a mobile type site than the full website. It doesn't look right sometimes on iPad. I think people don't realize that.
Well, in technology now, and it's been there recently, is now it's called responsive, and what it'll do is it'll shrink according to the size of your device. So whether it's an iPad, it should be a particular size, and that's how we design our websites, where we think through at least some of the major sizes,
Sure.
The widescreen computer, the iPad, the tablet, and you think through, because there are all particular sections, for example, on your homepage, and you have to make certain, okay, so how do you want this to look on mobile? In some cases, some of the information goes away because, again, it's a smaller screen. You
Right.
don't want to overwhelm the reader, but you do want to think all that through, and whether it's the iPad or the phone, you make sure your business is represented well, the image of your business, and that's really what we're all about.
Yeah. Now, do you guys also, if aside from website, but if you do graphic design or whatever for one of your clients, you also handle, they can get everything through you, printing and
Yes.
business cards and
Yes,
all
business cards, letterhead, printing.
Okay.
It's full service in that regard too.
Nice.
Again, vehicle graphics, printing materials, any materials you need to market or hand out or those types of things. We have all of that, and we even do things like trade show booths as well. So,
Oh, wow.
For bigger company that's going to a trade show booth or going to a trade show and needs a booth, we're able to do that as well. So, pretty much anything visual, anything that you see in hard copy or online, we are involved on some level.
Nice.
Now, I love when I see a car that's like all covered in an advertisement, a wrap.
Like a vehicle wrap,
Do you
yeah.
do that?
I don't know if we do a whole complete wrap of the car.
Yeah.
I'm certain we can find out how to get that done.
I know.
Typically, it's the graphics like lettering and websites and pictures and things like that. But I am certain we could get that done.
You want your car wrapped?
Well,
We could do that for you, Jane.
yeah, we could. Oh my gosh. Holy smokes. But I just think it's so appealing to me, because I'm such a visual person,
Right.
that when I see a car like that, I take note of it.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So that's why.
It's good advertising.
Yeah.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
and right now, probably 5 years from now, like half the cars will be wrapped. But for right now, they're unique,
That's true.
and that's
Yeah.
why I think you notice them so much. Yeah. Now, Eyedeal Graphics is a Polito business.
Correct.
Yes. So Ron,
hmm
who's the owner, or is it a joint?
It would be both Ron and Brian.
Okay.
So both Ron and Brian Polito, who own Polito Consulting Services, which is also on Main Street, 150 Main Street, is the main company and the founding company, if you will, the original company. And since then, other companies have evolved, and it's great because now we have a whole team of teams, and even I think of Eyedeal Graphics specifically, we only have 5 employees, but the beauty of having a team of teams is literally right next door. I have a whole group of developers, for example. So if I am working on a website and it's more complicated, there are people there that we can rely on. So we support each other. We work together. The culture of all of the companies are the same, and it's an awesome place to be. So.
And I do know the culture is nice.
Oh, I mean, with those two guys.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, and you look at everybody that works for them, and anybody that you know that works
Yep.
for that group of companies, just
They're
good
nice.
people.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Very
and I would
nice.
think too that for you guys, it's a big advantage. At least I would hope that local businesses here, I mean, to be able to literally drive down the street and work with somebody in, whether it be content development on the website or logo, letterhead,
Right.
business cards, all
Right.
that stuff. That's a huge advantage to be able to work with somebody in the same town.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and that's something that we really we do emphasize, and we go out of our way to help people. And one of the things that we always talk about at all these companies is we care, we know, we serve, and that's kind of a mantra
Pretty cool.
of the business. And it's not just something we say publicly. It's actually, frankly, I hear it more in meetings and more kind of in the hallway, so to speak, versus actually talking about it. But that's how we live, and when it comes to helping businesses, that's exactly what we want to do. Almost in some cases to our hurt, not
Sure.
in that way, but in the sense of we want to do everything we can. We want to give 110%. We know that in some cases they may think, and understandably so, there are services online that can do some of the work we do, but you're not going to get the personal touch. You're not going to get people who are thinking about your business, in some cases when they wake up or they're Googling it later on in the evening, just, understanding more about who and what you
Sure.
are, and then kind of, in effect, being able to sit in their shoes and be able to be a team member for them as well.
And I think there's such a strong sense of accountability and loyalty when you do use a local company.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yes. And there's so many things you can do online. I mean, there's just so many things. And but you'll never get that customer service
Exactly.
relationship built.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's just nothing like it.
Yes.
Yeah, and I know when I talk to the smaller businesses, I always say with the downtown small shops, it's very difficult to make a living. Right now it's just very difficult, and they're exhausted.
Right.
A lot of them are just a
Right.
one-person team, and you can pull into Walmart, which is great as well, and you can get your taxes done, you can
Yeah.
get your eyes checked, you can buy your groceries, you can buy your clothes,
Right.
you can get your tires changed. I mean, everything,
You can do anything.
anything. And so what's going to set our small businesses apart is that customer service
Absolutely.
and the building of relationships.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's something when you go into a store, and I do shop quite a bit downtown, and they know your name, and they know, like, oh, your daughter's birthday's coming up. I remember you told me, and I thought this would be a good gift for
Right.
her. It's wonderful. It's
Yeah.
like a Cheers,
Absolutely.
where
Absolutely.
everybody knows my name.
Yep. Well,
Yes.
and you do. It's they companies like Eyedeal. They have a vested interest in taking care of
Yep.
the customer. It's somebody they're going to see at the grocery store, or
Right.
Right.
walking down the street,
Right.
or at church, or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Sure. Now, have you ever been into the Ideal Graphics
I
building?
honestly have not been in the building.
Well, let me tell you about it because I love
Do
it
tell.
there. Okay,
It's a neat building.
it's a very cool building. It's kind of catty cornered to the left from Central Intermediate School.
Okay.
And it's a big house, and you go in, and right away it feels real artsy in there.
Yep.
And I love going there, and
Yes.
everything is very neat. And when you go into Ideal Graphics, you just feel like you're the most important person in the world. So when I have a bad day, I just go.
You just go in there, whether you
go
need some or not.
That's right. We're here to serve.
Yeah, that's right. I'm at Ideal Graphics
Go
now.
down.
Yeah.
Where's
Gonna
Jamie?
go.
There she
Yeah.
is.
Woo!
Get a boost of confidence.
I know. Sometimes I just lay on the porch until they come get me. I'm teasing.
That's who,
wondered-
that's who
wondered-
that was.
Yeah, I wondered what you were doing out there the other day. Oh,
The sun wasn't even out.
Kevin, come get me.
Help me.
But anyways, it's a great place to visit.
It is.
Yeah.
well,
That's for
I'll
sure.
take note of that next time I'm
thank
feeling
you.
down. Well, if you're just joining us, you're listening to the Business Spotlights on Wadsworth on 97.1 Wadsworth Community Radio. I'm Joe McNeil with Westfield Bank.
I'm Janie Parrish with the Wadsworth Area Chamber of Commerce. Luckily for Kevin, I don't get down very often.
Good thing.
It's not like a once a week thing.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good. That's
So he, when he comes to sweep the porch, if he finds me, pull me in, please. Okay.
Warm me up.
I wanted to ask you, Kevin, where do you see Ideal Graphics going? Because everything, the website bar is so very high.
Yes.
And everything just like you can have great technology, and 5 minutes later you don't.
Right.
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 So in 5 years, where would you see that Ideal Graphics will be?
Well, in many regards, it's a combination of we're going to stick to the basics and our roots, but on the other hand, we're going to have to continually grow and be dynamic and learn. I think we all see and know it's a very visual world, and it's becoming more so. We are given the opportunity to digest visual media, whether it's on our phone, on our TV, everything is becoming more like that. And as even kids grow up, we're even more used to it. That's not, if they've been doing it their whole teenage life and in their 20s, it's not going to change when they're 30s and 40s. So they're going to be doing business on those levels. And what's, I think, important for a company such as ours is to stick to the basics, have good and very talented designers, and those who just, you know, there are people who can just, you give them all the component pieces, you let them be, and they're just tremendous work and very skilled individuals and very talented. So that now just has to be merged up with what's the latest, without getting fatty or without just, you know, paying attention to the latest trend and realize that fizzes out in 6 months and you just wasted time or money. But we are going to have to grow and develop. We're going to have to understand, okay, what is with websites? What is the next thing? If we can foresee the next thing, to your point about technology, Janie, we can maybe prevent you having to change 6 months from now. If we can foresee it and grow with it and be experienced and experts in that regard, it'll be very valuable to anyone who does business with us, because they want somebody who's not just reacting to, you know, what they hear today, but trying to foresee what the changes are in the industry, where things are going with social media and with websites. So
Car wraps.
right. So it's Janie's car wrap that we'll be working on at 11 o'clock. But so it's a combination of two, if that makes sense.
Sure. You know, when I think of Eyedeal Graphics, and I've been around Wadsworth in this capacity for 5 years, I always think of integrity.
Yes.
And that's the absolute truth. I mean, it's just a stellar company in every direction, as is Polito Consulting Services as well.
Absolutely, and that's something that actually drew me to them, because I joined them last year, and that was something that really got my attention. And it was actually, even through the interview process, it was quite unique, where it was the standard interview and multiple interviews, but then there was a period where they wanted me to think more introspectively, not for their benefit or for me to answer questions to them, but asking me questions like, and having me think about, why does Kevin deserve to be alive? You know, that's if you ask yourself that question, and then it was a go and just brainstorm about it, and then come back and brainstorm it again, and then distill it down into one paragraph.
Wow.
So that was something that
Wow.
again, was not part of the requirement in terms of, you know, I had to hand it in, but it was something that they wanted me to do. And first of all, I was thinking along those lines as I was, you know, evolving and a brand new career path for me, in terms of, I have a lot of background in this area, but it was a big step forward for me. And when they talked about that, it really meant a lot to me, connected with me. And then, Joe, when you talked about a lot of good people there, I've since found out everybody has gone through that same process. And so you automatically get a group of people who are thinking about deeper things, thinking about caring, thinking about helping people. Because when you answer that question, and then when you try to live by that question, it really is a profound way of living, doing business, interacting, and that's what we try to do.
Well, that's how you get culture like they have. You know, I mean, everybody's got to be on the same page and understand truly what is the most important thing. Not just what you say out on the street to get a sale or anything else, but internally in your mind, what needs to be top of mind, the most important thing.
Absolutely.
So when you're obviously, you see a lot of different clients, a lot of different industries, a lot of different types of businesses. What trends are you seeing when somebody comes to you, maybe a new client or maybe an existing, and they say, "Hey, Kevin, we want to be able to do this, this, and this." What are you seeing out there?
Well, first of all, I'm seeing a lot of websites that are still quite old.
Yeah.
So that's you know, we're talking 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years.
Which is
now.
ancient.
I know it's ancient in this world, and that's I know that everyone cringes at that, particularly small business, but you have to stay up to date.
Yeah.
Going back to the mobile issue, there's a lot of 4, 5, 6-year-old sites that simply don't look good at all on mobile, and the majority of traffic now is on mobile. So that's one trend, that there's still, with small businesses, there's the desire to, or the need to, you know, get it to 2017. Other trends that are out there in terms of where people need to be and where people are heading is both an emphasis on social media, but also search engine optimization as well.
Okay.
And I think that's pretty important when it comes to small businesses. Here is in some regards, is more important than the face of your store, and yet we're not giving it the attention we need. And then when we think about people coming to our sites, we just say, oh, they Google something, or we don't.
Right.
We leave it mysterious, and that's where I think that's. First of all, if it's your business, you don't want that to be mysterious, and there are ways to find those things out, and there are ways to improve those things. So an emphasis and a focus on those areas with social media and with search engine optimization is all part of this, and making sure your website's up to date. So those are the areas. A lot of people are on social media, and what we try to do with Eyedeal Graphics is emphasize what we call a 5-way win, which means if there are 5 different parties at the table, we want everybody to win.
Okay.
So there's nothing special about the number 5. It's more a matter of whoever's at the table, we want everyone to win. In a case like social media, there may be a business that it doesn't make as much sense for you, and then we would talk through that, and we're not there just to, I need to do social media. Okay, give us your money and we'll do it.
Right.
No, that's not how we want to do it. We want you to succeed. Let's strategize. Let's do some consulting. Let us be at your table for a little while and help understand where you're heading, and then what trends, whether it's social media, improving your SEO, improving your website, maybe redoing your logo, anything like that.
Right.
All those things become options.
I think that there's a lot of people that don't realize, they Google something and there's obviously pages and pages of results. They usually click on one of the top 3 to 5.
Right.
I think there's a lot of people that don't realize that there's actually things that you can do. And when I say you, I mean you guys at Eyedeal, or to get in that top 10 or top 5 or top 3.
Right.
I think people they take it for granted. They're so used to Googling things, and they click on one of the results and they find what they need.
Right.
There are obviously tools that you guys can implement to make sure that they're in one of those.
I have to tell you, when I Google something, and who doesn't do that like numerous times
Hang on
a
now.
day?
Remember, this is a family show.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just keep this clean.
Okay, so whatever comes up on that first page, I pick from one of those. If you're on the second page,
You're not going to get no way.
Absolutely.
I don't even hit the little scrolly wheel.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not in that top section of the page, I'll pick one of the top ones, and
because
that's it.
they're not reputable.
That's right. That's right.
That's true.
Oh my gosh, we'll do a station
I was
identification.
just going to.
Okay, good.
You're listening to the Business Spotlights on Wadsworth on 97.1 Wadsworth Community Radio. I'm Joe McNeil from Westfield Bank, along with
Janie Parrish from the Wadsworth Area Chamber of Commerce.
now tell who our guest is
Oh,
and get
yes.
his last name right. Let's see.
It's Kevin Denee.
There you
Kevin
go.
Denee.
job.
Got
Excellent.
it. You know, I'm part French, so. Jeez. Okay,
Oh, boy.
well, I have 2 questions before we go into the 15
Okay.
questions. First of all, what's your favorite business in Wadsworth besides anything Polito related?
Oh, I was going to say Polito related, but
That knocks out like 5 companies.
I know it.
I know. I'm going to have to say, just because it's near and dear to my heart, and maybe this is not. I hope this doesn't come across as political, but I have to say the Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, and I
Because-
didn't even.
No, you didn't prep me
Yeah.
because you were very much. I've seen a lot of important things you do, and you were very instrumental.
It's all
in-
because of her board,
There you go.
right, Tom?
There you go.
Right.
So finish that nice thought about me. Go ahead.
I've just seen a lot of involvement in the community and connecting with people, and that's something that speaks well to me, and it means a lot to me. And frankly, as Eyedeal is involved in the community, and I'm personally involved in the community, it really was something that spoke to me on a very near and dear to my heart level. So that has to be the
I
answer.
love it. Thank
Nice.
you. Thanks. Now here's my a question that I ask everybody. Tell us something about you that would very much surprise all of us.
Well, I can't. I don't think I can beat the previous guest, so
Oh, my
I'm gonna have to go.
Although if you were kissed by two presidents, that would be.
Yes.
Yeah. Or first ladies.
Yeah, there you go.
And I'm
Yeah.
Canadian, so I
Oh,
wouldn't
see.
even have the
Yeah.
present connection. But I would have to say most people would be surprised that I've traveled around the world to about 12 countries beyond America and Canada. So
Wow.
That's
Whether
pretty.
it's
That's
Very
impressive.
cool.
Philippines, Kenya, Peru, Mexico, and a variety of countries in Europe. So
Wow, that's
Very
pretty cool.
nice.
Yeah, that is impressive.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll allow that.
Okay,
Okay.
good. Were you
Thanks, Joe.
kissed by any presidents while you were there?
not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
I have a signed letter from a president, but
You
See, there you go.
do?
I do, yes,
Which president?
from George Bush,
George W.
Or HW.
George W.
George.
G Dubs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
There
he,
you
he
go.
wrote a book about his father, and I decided to write him, and he wrote back a personal letter. So
Wow.
it
That's pretty cool.
was a nice letter.
Nice.
Now, I wrote a letter to David Letterman to tell him
How
I
did I
was
know that was
single.
going to be the next one?
Yeah, never wrote
No?
me back.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't
Yeah.
know what
He
he
has
doesn't
more
know what he
time.
missed out on.
Yeah, he does not know what he missed. I'm
right.
just saying. Okay. All right.
All right, I'll let you start this time.
Okay, 15 questions in 15 seconds. Are you
Okay.
ready? Your favorite color?
Blue.
Don't even ask. Periwinkle, powder, dark, navy.
Let's go with Navy. Then we won't even let Janie
Royal.
ask.
She always says periwinkle. City you were born in.
Hamilton, Ontario.
Ontario.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay, favorite actor?
I'm gonna have to go with Robin Williams.
Oh, that's a
Oh,
good one.
Tragic.
Yeah, I know.
Tragic.
Man, that guy was funny.
Sure
And
was.
just a great actor all the way around.
Yeah, and it's such a wide variety.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That Mrs. Doubtfire wasn't
that
that
was something
else.
hilarious?
Favorite song or genre of music?
I'm gonna have to go with or Without You by U2.
Oh, that's a good
Wow,
one.
that is a great one. Favorite movie?
Braveheart.
Another good one. Favorite book?
Too many to choose from, but going back to my childhood and just foundational in my life in terms of just interesting, I'm gonna go with The Hobbit.
The
Oh,
Hobbit.
there you go.
I thought he was going to say The Little Engine That Could.
Not that far back.
That goes
in
back
childhood.
further, yeah.
The little engine that could. Dick and Jane. I'm gonna go with Dick and Jane.
and Spot. Okay, favorite friend.
My wife.
Isn't that great? How long have you been married?
We've been married for 13 years and a few months.
Wow.
Nice.
And you have
Three
Three
boys.
boys?
Three
Yeah.
boys.
what are their ages?
7. He's almost 8. 6 and 4. So
Nice.
We're busy.
So you're busy.
We're busy.
When
yeah.
is that-
And she's back in school too. So that's,
Oh,
Oh.
jeez.
so we're very busy.
Yes, you are.
Your oldest son, when is his birthday that he's almost 8?
He in March.
Okay, because my grandson's going to be 5 on February 27th.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can't tell she loves her grandson.
Oh,
Yes.
I love those boys.
I've
Okay.
heard.
Oh, we did
You
the
already
one.
asked this one.
His
Favorite Wadsworth
Well,
business.
isn't that on the other side?
No, it's your favorite thing about Wadsworth.
Wadsworth. Okay, never
what year
mind.
did you graduate high school?
2001.
Jeez, ow.
Yeah, he's
Thought-
a little
thought we
bit
were a little
younger
closer
than
in
me.
age.
Young
Yeah.
guy.
Okay, dream vacation spot.
I would say southern France or somewhere in Italy.
Wow.
Well, it just happens that the chamber has just booked a great trip to Tuscany.
There
Yes.
we go.
Yeah.
You're going.
Are you sponsoring it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, wouldn't that be great? Everybody.
Everybody.
Everybody,
I
anybody
would
that wants to go,
All right, let's
I
go.
would
it's free
say-
with your chamber membership.
Everybody
Sign me
on the bus. We're going to Italy.
On the bus.
Okay.
Favorite sport?
Volleyball.
Favorite car.
Don't know if I have one. I'm gonna maybe a Porsche
There you go. Why not? Favorite animal?
dog.
And you have a dog?
We do not. Our middle son is allergic, and I don't know with our schedule right now. A dog.
Yeah,
would
it
work
probably
anyway,
isn't going to fit in very well.
Yeah.
So maybe someday, but he's quite allergic.
You'd have to litter box train the dog. It
Yeah,
sounds like.
something.
Oh, man. Favorite food.
Italian, probably plain old spaghetti.
Yeah, meatball, no meatball.
No meatball.
Really,
actually.
just
But
spaghetti.
Meat, but no meatball.
Oh, meat sauce. Okay,
Yeah, meat
gotcha,
sauce.
gotcha.
You know, I get cravings for that macaroni grill.
Oh yes.
Oh.
No. You know, I got a thing about macaroni grill.
Absolutely.
What is it?
It's whatever you order there. It's just like maybe like 3 noodles and 5,000 capers. Like that's
Oh,
all that ever. I just don't like
It's
it.
just
I mean, you pay $25 for like 5,000 capers.
For a jar of capers.
You could bring your own.
I don't want any of it. Give me some more noodles and some meat. I mean, you gotta. Like, yeah.
You know what?
Capers are a unique.
It's like a caper salad.
I love the bread there.
Oh,
The bread is good.
Yeah.
The
And the
oil.
oil and
Oil.
the balsamic. Oh.
Yeah.
And I always say to them, I would like cheese in my oil, please, because I'm a cheesy person.
You know, if we added up all the minutes of topics that we discussed on this show, I guarantee you food would be the top by a lot.
right.
Because as
Yeah.
soon as somebody mentions food, then Janie and I just
That's
keep
Yeah.
on
And we're
talking.
getting close to lunch. So.
We are,
Yeah.
I know.
Holy
All right, last one. Janie's favorite question, and mine too. If you choose to partake, favorite adult beverage?
A Belgian beer.
Belgian.
Yeah, specifically Trappist ale. So
Oh,
it's
those are good.
it's a monastery. They're typically made in monasteries
Mm-hmm.
or made by monks, and best beer in the world. So if you haven't tried it, you should try some.
Well, I have heard that
Unique
that's
taste, but very, very good.
Yes,
I mean, they don't
unique.
taste
It's-
like a regular. It's a unique taste, but it's good.
It's definitely
Very good.
different than your standard American or Canadian beer.
Yeah.
So be prepared for that. But
Where do you find? It's not always the easiest to find either. You find it at Giant Eagle.
Yeah, you'd find Giant
Okay.
Eagle or Bueller's.
Bueller's.
Some of like the
Google.
Google, yes. Some of the more standard ones, like people think of Stella as Belgian beer, but that's not really
That's
what
not
I'm
really
talking
what
like
you-
Duvel or something, the
Duvel.
shorter bottles, that would be a
But the
place.
ones that are the obscure ones are the ones that I like.
Yes, and Giant Eagle has some, like Chimay would be a Trappist ale.
Yeah, that's a good
and,
one.
they have a variety of types.
Yeah. Huh.
Or you could go to the Wadsworth Brewing Company.
That's right.
Yes,
They
that
don't-
that recently opened. A ribbon cutting February 10th at
5:30.
p.m.
Excellent.
It's at 5. She can't. Erica wanted to change it at 5 because they get so busy on Friday night.
I'm telling you what. I've been to that place twice now. Once on a Saturday afternoon, and then once
He
on.
left the kids at home to do the chores, and he just hopped in.
Actually, it's actually even worse than that.
Oh no!
My son and my nephew were asked to serve as altar boys at a wedding at Sacred Heart, one that I was not invited to.
Okay.
And so my brother said, he goes, "Hey, you think what I'm thinking?" I'm like, "Yeah." I said, "We'll drop them off and go to Wadsworth Brewing, and then they can call us when they're done."
Or
So we
just
did.
walk.
Like, it was cold out, so we didn't make them walk.
Okay.
There you go.
But
All right.
and then I was there on a Friday night. No, Saturday night. That place is it's awesome. The beer
It
is
is.
fantastic, and the nice thing about it was that was a week apart, and already they had some of the same, but they had
Some-
4 new ones that they didn't have the previous Saturday. So
Interesting.
it's very reasonable. Flight of beer is $8. That's
Very
Excellent.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
So-
just down the street from us, and
they are.
being a social media guy, I already follow them on social media, so it's.
Have you met them yet?
I haven't.
Oh,
I'm
we
looking
need
forward
to
it,
we
so
need to introduce you to them. They're really
I'm
great
looking
people.
forward to it.
Oh,
Really great
they
people.
are very artistic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's just a cool place to
and
be.
they could. Their logo's pretty basic. You might be able to help them out there. It's just
There
a
we go.
W and a B and a C.
Excellent.
Okay. Anyway, that's just my opinion.
Okay. Well, I am so glad that you came to visit with us, Kevin Denee. I have always
doing
called you
great.
Denee, and you've never corrected
Well,
me,
it's
honey.
I know I should have, I suppose, but it's because, frankly, the previous generation coming from Holland, they were Denee, so I actually
Okay.
don't mind hearing that at all. So
Oh,
I did
good.
not correct you.
Well, I'm going back to
So
it because
do whatever you want, because now the wires are crossing. Right? Is it Denee or Denee? So.
Now she's gonna stutter. Dun, dun, dun. Oh.
when I was a waitress server at the Ground Round, there was a boy that I thought his name was Chris, and it was actually Jim. 6 years I called him Chris, and he never said a word to me.
Chris.
Are you
Oh,
serious?
boy.
He
6
was
years.
one of the cooks, and I'm like, when I left, when after I had gotten a job, I graduated from college, got a job at the health department, and I hugged him and I said, "Chris, thanks for everything," and he said, "It's Jim." I'm like,
Oh no.
What? And he
Such a
said,
weird-
yeah. And I said, why didn't you tell me before? He goes, well, I didn't want to hurt your feelings.
So I thought I'd just let you go 6 years and then tell you.
He may have changed his name by then. Just to,
Wow, that's awesome. Only you, Jamie.
I know it. I got a couple other stories, but Tom says we're out of time.
Yeah, we are. He's gonna cut
Yeah.
the cord.
Oh my God. Can I tell you just one quick story while I'm thinking about it? So I was a single mom waitressing at the Ground Round at Rolling Acres Mall.
I went there
Did
all
you?
the time. Actually, my uncle managed that Ground Round for years.
Who?
wow.
His last name was McNeil. Dan.
I did not know
Oh,
him.
okay, that's good. That would have
Okay.
been funny.
Well, anyways, there was a dishwasher that had a little bit of developmental disabilities, and when you would, he never said a word to anybody, but when you would ask him, like, to do something, like you broke a bottle of ketchup, could you help me clean it up? He would sing a jingle, and you had to gauge whether it was a positive jingle or a negative jingle if he was going to help you or not. So if it was something about, like a hemorrhoid, you knew you weren't going anywhere with that. Now, if he would sing like, oh, what a feeling, Toyota, you got it. He did that
Really?
constantly. And then one night, the poor guy, and he was just so sweet, he had a little breakdown, and we had to call the police to come get him.
Oh,
Yeah, but yeah, he knew every jingle, I mean, like for 50 years. And you just had to think, is that a negative or a positive product that he's singing about?
Right.
And to know if he would help you or not.
that's hilarious.
Isn't that
Fascinating.
funny?
Ground Round, that's a restaurant I miss.
Yes.
You
I
used to
miss
pay
it,
your weight
too.
when you were a little kid.
Yeah.
Remember that?
One time I put, I was in a hurry and I typed in a kid's weight. Instead of it being like 20, I put in 200.
no.
And the computer read, kids too fat, try again.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I got a million of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Kevin, thank you for
Thank
taking
you.
time
Thank
this
you for
morning.
having me. Really
Really,
appreciate the opportunity.
really
Yeah,
great being here.
and you know what? I want to thank Tom Stugmeyer and Wadsworth Community Radio for allowing us to do this every single Wednesday. Well, speaking of every single Wednesday, we're not going to be here next week. And
Right on cue.
the reason is we're having a nonprofit fair for the Wadsworth Chamber at the Galaxy. That's our January 25th, and our nonprofits are all coming out to tell us what they do, and so everybody from the community is invited, and that way you learn about our nonprofits, the difference between what the government is able to provide and what the community needs. So the nonprofits fill up that gap in there. So if you'd like to come, and it's usually we have about 45 nonprofits that set up. Lunch is $15. It's the world famous Wadsworth Chamber Pasta Bar. And you got to call and make a reservation at the chamber, and we'd love to have you.
Yes.
Okay.
We would.
Okay.
All right.
Well, it's been a fun morning.
Always is. Wednesday
always
mornings,
is.
my favorite mornings.
You and me both. So thank you, Wadsworth, for listening to us, and thanks for Tom Stugmeyer for having us here today.
Have a wonderful day, everyone. We will see you in 2 weeks.
Perfect.
Are those of the
Very
participants
painless.
not